Hi everybody, Auntie speaks here. We're gonna look at some really fun stuff. Here we go. Berkeley Co-op person of color themed house bans white guests from common spaces. That's just awesome. Students move into a POC house to be able to avoid white violence and presence. Well, that's just lovely. Let's completely separate ourselves completely. So under this section labeled guests in common areas, it states guests are allowed in common spaces, but please be mindful if there are house members in the room beforehand, white guests are not allowed in the common areas. You know, I have to say, we are getting really, really close to the liberals of the world, the leftists of the world, having much more in common with the KKK than they do anybody else. Let's look at a funny bit that sort of outlines this.
When me and Brad first met, I didn't think we'd get along, but turns out we kind of agree on everything. Your racial identity is the most important thing. Everything should be looked at through the lens of race.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
That's just the beginning. It's super, super funny. Now, if you do not see that most of this is absolutely and utterly true, and you still believe that Republicans are the racists, then I don't know. But just watch a little bit more. It's super, super fun.
Both have a lot of opinions about people of color, even though we barely know any.
I say colored people, but as long as we're classifying them, we both think minorities are a united group who think the same and act the same.
And vote the same. You don't want to lose your black card.
I wonder where we've heard that one before.
I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Okay, guys, so we're going to look at one more funny bit from these guys. This was Ryan Long, so go check him out on YouTube. I didn't put the whole thing in here, and the whole thing is like super, super funny. So let's take one more look at it.
Sorry, I don't know. I just think we should
Roll back discrimination laws so we can hire based on race again. Jinx, now you owe me a Coke.
Us white people, we have so much privilege.
I agree, it is a privilege to be white. It's like he's a mind reader. I mean, I've been pushing for segregation forever, and my man does what?
I created an improv comedy show exclusively for ethnic people.
Guy segregates comedy on my birthday.
These guys are so funny. They're so funny. Yes, let's bring back segregation. This is not new. That first one that I showed you was not like it's a brand new thing. No, it's been around for years. Demands for segregated housing, National Review, Black student-only housing set up in Washington University, Michigan Chronicle, Black student-only dorm set up at Western Washington University. So this is a trend. This is a scary trend, and I really don't understand what is going on here. So we're going to throw it to Candace Owens, who is awesome. And she is going to talk about this subject.
Segregation is back in America. It's back and it's better than it was last time. Western Washington University has implemented a segregated Black-only student housing. They are referring to this as affinity housing, just so you guys know. And I don't want you to be confused. This is not like segregation of days past. This is different because it's exactly like segregation of days past. So I will just turn to the panel to tell me why maybe I'm missing something, and this is good, and this is woke, and it's progressive. What was the point of like the whole civil rights fight if you now have people that have gone so woke, right? You're so progressive, you're regressive, right? Just like you said, the perfect circle. You're so progressive that now you're choosing to segregate yourselves. Like this is, to me, like sort of the Machiavellian scheme of the Democrat Party where they've realized, you know, we can actually educate people so much that they're going to do what we wanted to do from the very beginning. Like the Democrats were the party of segregation. They were the party that wanted all of this division. And they've somehow convinced people through the watered down academics, through things like critical race theory, the 1619 Project, teaching kids that, you know what you need? You actually need a safe space. We're such horrible people that you need a safe space. And then you have people that don't recognize this in the Black community who are going, yeah, that's it. This is good. We're choosing to accept this safe space.
Guys, she's exactly right. What we are doing makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Okay? You know, I mean, what is it? 60s, 40s. So 60 years ago, Black people were not allowed to eat places, to sit on the bus where they wanted to stay where they wanted to stay, and that was bad. That was evil. That was wrong. And this country had to do a lot to get past it. Now, it was mostly Republicans getting us past it, but hey, history. And now we're going back. We're going back. We're going back to segregation. Segregation is always wrong, whether it's done by white people or black people. It's wrong either way. It's evil either way. And the left wants to go, oh, diversity, diversity, diversity is always our strength. Well, then why would you do this? Why? If diversity is a strength, as you say, why are you doing this? It just separates students. It just says, you're in that group and you're in that group. You're in the white group, you're in the black group. How is that ever good? How? How will that make us stronger? How will it make these kids stronger? Black Americans are 13% of the population. They are going to be around white people all the time. All the time. So you want them to be separate? You want them to feel separate? That makes no sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. I just don't understand it. I just do not understand it. So, yeah, lefties, yeah, there's something seriously wrong with you. You need to take a look at yourself again and find out, where did we go wrong? And I truly believe it's the concentration of race. I am from a slightly different generation. I grew up in the 90s. So, I mean, graduated high school in the 90s. So I suppose I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. And we did not talk about race. We were taught what Martin Luther King Jr. taught us, which is judge by the character, not the color of their skin. And so when you met someone, you didn't go, oh, are they black? Are they white? Are they whatever? You judged them on them. And that is America. And that is the America we need to come back to. We need to stop talking about race all the time. We need to stop blaming race for everything. And we all need to look at ourselves as individuals. America is about individualism. Anybody can succeed. But if you give people something to point to blame, if you separate people and say those people, terrible, terrible things in history have happened when we other people. You guys need to figure out what is going on here, because none of this is good. So this was a heavy one. So like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me why you think diversity is just awesome. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, you let me know. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the next one.